Hey, just a quick one for me. The team are pleased that you've declined that meeting. Gold star, brownie points, etc., etc. I guess we'll see if anything else more exciting comes calling, but let's focus on our currency for now.
warm welcome, everybody. We're here in the heart of Melbourne. It's Albert Park, and it's qualifying for the Australian Grand Prix.
Okay, that's all the checks complete. We're ready to go. Drop to P20. And that's just 30 seconds left in the session. Pushed down to P20.
So then Ricciardo at his home race knocked out by 100 to his former teammate Hulkenberg. Then Ocon as well, who's actually been doing quite well in the Alpine. He's been knocked out along with Behrman as usual, to be fair, this season, and the two Saubers in their usual positions at the back, but still not far off the others. There's no upgrades, of course. Everyone's fully upgraded at the moment to what they can, but yeah, there's a little bit of improvement at least, but they're at the back row, so yeah, through his Porsche, which is a surprise. He's usually knocked out or on the cusp of being knocked out. Albon makes his way through into Q2 as well, along with Hulkenberg in the Haas. Yeah, not really any other surprises there. So let's go into Q2.
All set, we're ready to go, so let's get the car out onto the track.
It looks like a McLaren, our teammate Leclerc, and probably Verstappen, all staying in the garage, not coming out for a second run. I don't think that there's any improvement out there. Which is weird, because the times were quicker in Q1 than what we've seen so far in this session.
Drop to P15.
Bit of oversteer there through the corner. Scary place to have it. obviously a lot of time to be found out here. We've seen other drivers going faster. We've gone into P2, so we've knocked a few drivers down. I saw that Piastri is in fact out of Q2. That's the only one that we know that's a surprise so far in terms of performance. But Sainz doesn't make it through. He's struggled this season, he really has, to try and get into Q3. Whereas last season it was not a struggle whatsoever, or the season before actually. But he's been knocked out by 2/100ths of a second. And Albon finally breaks that curse and gets through into the top 10 shootout for Williams. Out-qualifies Gasly for the second time this season now. Piastri, as I said, out. Hulkenberg's done a great job in 13th there, and Porsche in 14th. So, yeah, this is your top 10 shootout then. Russell quickest, then myself, Verstappen, Leclerc, Norris, Perez, Tsunoda, Hamilton, Alonso and Albon. All battling out for pole position. It should be a good one.
Okay, when you're ready, let's go.
And we've qualified P3, so we're up there at least. Our teammate on pole position. So yeah, that's 2 Ferrari poles in the space of 3 rounds. It's looking like a good season so far for us.
Up qualifying, but don't worry, we'll be back tomorrow as we head into the Grand Prix.
So then, crucially as well, Verstappen qualifying P6 once again. He did that in Saudi as well. He has his teammate Perez right behind him, but even Perez is in P9. We've got Hamilton even out qualifying him in P5. Russell in the McLaren in P4, ourselves in P3. Then Lando Norris takes the 2nd spot on the front row, and Leclerc gets pole. So yeah, Albon as expected 10th, but he got into Q3, so at least you can say that. And yeah, Tsunoda P8. Mercedes not looking like they're on it this weekend like they were in Saudi. So we don't expect too much from them, but yeah, this is a reminder of your championship after 2nd round. It's pretty close up the top. The 2 McLarens would be in it a bit more if Russell didn't have a bad first race and Norris didn't DNF in Saudi. It would be way closer actually. So between a lot of drivers, and there's your constructors as well heading into this one. We will do the race, I think. So then no rain expected, of course that is approximate, so with the overcast conditions it could turn into rain, but I highly doubt it will. Let's get into this race then.
You can hear the Australian fans roaring as they line the track here in Albert Park. Welcome to Melbourne, and the roar from the crowd can only mean one thing. It's race day. We go racing today then in the state of Victoria, where the drivers have 14 corners and 3.28 miles to navigate at an average lap speed of around 120 miles per hour. Close proximity of the barriers make accidents inevitable, and recent history shows us that a safety car is not at all out of the question. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday, and it's put him on pole, edging out Lando Norris, who'll start from P2. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Edwards, Russell, Hamilton, Verstappen, Fernando Alonso, Tsunoda, Perez, Albon, Sainz, Oscar Piastri, Hülkenberg, Théo Pourchaire, Gasly, Ricciardo, Ocon, Behrman, Stroll, and Zhou Guanyu. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track. And alongside me for the first time this season here in the commentary box, Naomi Schiff. Hello, Gnomes. Now, I'll be generous here. It's not that long ago that you were racing and entertaining us on a Sunday. But in the years since, the sport has changed quite a bit, hasn't it?
It is certainly an interesting time in this set of regulations because, as you know, when a new set of regulations come out, everything changes and you always wonder who's got it right. Well, we know that Red Bull are the ones who really got it right the last couple of years. But now you can see the rest of the grid slowly start to catch up, and there's really only so much left for Red Bull to get out of these regulations. So it is interesting, and the pack are catching up.
So then, medium to hard strategy as usual on a 50% race. We're going to overfuel by I'd say we'll do that. We'll do 30.7 laps. We'll fuel by, so that's 1.7 laps extra. Yeah, I can't really think of anything else to say. So we'll just get into the race and see how this one goes. It's a great start from Leclerc there, our teammate, from pole position. Myself and Norris had quite similar starts there. We ran the outside of him, up the inside for the next corner, but he's ahead still. We're going to challenge him going down into turn 3 now. Who can be latest on the brakes? He has that inside line, but we're round the outside, up the inside for the next corner, and we've got that position done and dusted. Meanwhile, Hamilton behind has got a move done on George Russell, his former teammate at Mercedes, of course. But while all of this is going on, Leclerc has already got a 1.1 second gap. We've got to close that down as quickly as possible and not spend too much time fighting Lando, or anyone else in fact. But Lando has other ideas. He's going to go round the outside into the next chicane. We're going to go side by side even. We hop over the curb a little bit. No contact made though, but a lot of time lost due to that side by side moment. Hamilton's looking to go for a move behind. He's so close, but just has to sit behind and push him through the next corner basically. So it's still Leclerc then who leads us around lap 1, ourselves in P2. Could this be the Ferrari 1-2 again actually, because we did in Saudi. See if we can start where we finished off.
This lap, we can use DRS when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
And finish off where we started, of course. But DRS, a major thing around Australia. It's got really long straights for it as well. Lots of overtaking opportunities. We're going to be under pressure because we're not in that DRS of Charles Leclerc. But we've got a whole train of cars behind us, I've just realised. Everyone's so close together here. But here we go then. This is the DRS straight that we're first able to use it on, or Lando's first able to use it on. He's going to go to the inside this time, and he gets through nice and easily. Hamilton might even be looking to do what Norris did and try and actually make the move work, but it didn't work for him this time. We stay ahead of Lewis Hamilton this time around, but Norris is ahead of us, back up into P2. We're back down into P3 now. We've got to stay with him though. If we want to get to Leclerc, we've got to stay in that DRS, work together even though we're not on the same team, not battle too much through the corners, and then we should be able to catch him nicely. As Norris sets the fastest lap there, the first person to actually have the DRS he was this race. So yeah, it's time to settle down now, focus to do this teamwork or not so teamwork to try and catch Leclerc. Of course, no yellow flags or anything on that lap 1, no carnage as we're used to seeing here in Australia. We're going to have the DRS on Norris down this straight where he's attempted to overtake us and actually got the move done. We're going to gain right up to the back of him, but just no space for a move there. Maybe down into the next corner we will. Wow, that was very close to the wall and to crashing into Lando there. I wasn't sure if he was going to defend to the inside or not. He obviously didn't and stayed on that racing line, but we made the bold move of going around the outside, which I think is the best overtaking place, is to be on the outside, to be fair, of that corner. It's you know, quite a tight corner as it is when you're not hugging the inside of the corner. But that gap is closing to Leclerc, of course. We're at 1.4 seconds now. Did get up to 1.7, I think, when we were behind him before. I know that Leclerc is going to want this win no matter what, because he didn't get it in Bahrain, he didn't get it in Saudi as well. was very close to it in Saudi, I must say. We had to settle for second behind ourselves. Norris gets through again on us. This is part of the plan though, to try and catch up. Norris gets the DRS again down this straight, as there's no detection point in between that DRS straight and this one. We are way closer to Leclerc, as you can see. Norris is about 1.1 away from him, I think, 1.2 now.
Right, the gap to the teammate ahead of us, 1.5 seconds.
So Norris will soon be in that DRS of Leclerc, which is obviously crucial.
Okay, mate, Lando ahead. We can't let them hold us up for too long, so let's try and get past as soon as possible and crack on. Push, push.
We've got to get past him now. It's our objective. This is our chance to catch Leclerc as well. We get left minimal room there. Minimal room by Lando, but we're within a second of Leclerc now. We get the DRS from the detection of Lando down that last straight, but we're here now. We're right here behind Leclerc, putting him under pressure as much as we can as a teammate. And he's got the rest of the pack behind me as well, who are thirsty and hungry for these early stage wins. So let's see if we can do anything about this one. We improve our personal best lap time of this race so far. A bit slidey through turn one, but no biggie. Such a competitive season though this is. We've got so many cars still in this train behind Leclerc now that could easily win a race, but here we go then. We've got the overspeed on our teammate. We pull to the outside of the next corner. We go into the corner and into the lead of this Australian Grand Prix, but not for much longer. If we do mistakes like that, we're going to bash it into a wall probably if we do that again. So we've got to be careful now. We've got to take it easy, save our ERS so we can defend as much as what we can. It's pretty difficult going down straight when a car's way quicker behind, but here we go then. Leclerc already coming back at us. We're going to defend as hard as what we can to the inside. Leclerc still keeps that inside line. He's going to have a tighter corner, which is a worse exit, but not as bad as what we've just got, so I don't think he's too worried about that one. And he gets back into the lead of this Australian Grand Prix. Of course, last race in Saudi, if you were here, our battle with Norris and Leclerc got cut short because Norris had an engine failure. And talking of an engine failure, that's a Mercedes of Yuki Tsunoda. I'm pretty sure he's slowing down there. We've got to get past Leclerc just in case he's a safety car. He's out of the session. Norris also goes down the inside of Leclerc and gets that move done. He's up into second place. Leclerc down 2 positions in the space of a straight. And we're back into the lead of this Australian Grand Prix. And Leclerc's got off. Leclerc's had an issue. He's gone straight on at the gravel. And it's all kicking off now. We've got an ERS issue which isn't working, so we're going to be losing so much time down the straight. Leclerc's conceded a position to Hamilton as well. We've got our ERS back by the look of it. I've just used a bit of overtake, yeah, so we've got it back. We shouldn't be losing too much time, but actually in a straight line when we're not using our overtake, we're losing so much time. But we've gone a bit wide there onto the runoff and had a bit of a slide that nearly allows Norris to get through on us. But it's all kicked off. in this past lap.
Someone's come off ahead of you. There's a yellow flag ahead.
Really kicked off, and I don't know how that's not a safety car. That's a pretty fast part of the circuit to have a car pulled up, especially where it's overtaking as well. But Leclerc seems to be out of this one. He seems to be out of the battle so far. He's got to get back past Hamilton first before he can even think about catching us.
We need to stay on form.
So yeah, once again Australia kicking up the madness. Here goes Leclerc on Hamilton. Around the outside he's trying now. He's got that move done. He's got the move that we did on Lando. But he's got to catch 2 seconds now, which is even more than what me and Norris had to do to catch him.
Okay, be aware, the grip levels are going to start falling away soon.
What a race this is turning out to be. Lando is your new race leader of this Australian Grand Prix. We've had 3 different race leaders now. Yeah, Leclerc must have locked up a front tyre or both of them to be going straight on at that corner after Norris got past. He must have got a bit flustered and caught in the dirty air of Lando. So yeah, a bit disappointing. He'll be kicking himself for that one, as now he's under threat from Hamilton. Once again, going round the outside, Hamilton gets that move done and he's ahead of Charles Leclerc once more. So all this time, and me and Norris are just pulling away because the differences between Leclerc in those first few laps is he didn't have anyone to get the DRS off, or anyone behind him to get the DRS and go further and pull him further away in terms of like a slingshot. But with myself and Norris, now we've both got the DRS off each other, and that's just slingshotting both of us further ahead of the rest of the pack. So it's more work really for Hamilton and Leclerc to do to catch up to us in this race, until the pit stops, I'd say, or until there's a safety car intervention or a red flag. I don't think they're going to catch us, because myself and Norris, we've not battled through the corners. It's only been down the straight, and down this one to be exact. So if we keep this momentum going, we're going to be ages away, and we could actually get an advantage out of the pit stop by even further, or give ourselves a bit of a safety buffer in case something goes wrong in the pit stop. But anyway, Leclerc gets past Lewis Hamilton, back up into 3rd place. But I'm sure that battle is not over just yet. So I'm pretty sure our pit window will be opening in about another 2 laps time once we cross the line. Yeah, it will.
We're approaching the pit window now, and you're going to be on hards next time.
So we just got to keep doing what we're doing. Play patiently when we have not got the overspeed to get past Lando. Wait until we have, and then get past him, because we can't take any risks.
Right, we need to get past here. Use overtake, use overtake.
Here we go then. Down the overtaking straight we go. And we're through on Lando. Before we even needed to think about braking, but Hamilton's got through on Leclerc as well. Pretty sure Leclerc's a bit under pressure from Russell as well behind him. Of course, that McLaren is really quick in a straight line, as we've seen with Norris. But Lando's dropped back a little bit there. 8/10 away was at the start of the straight, so don't know if he made a little bit of a mistake or something, but it wasn't enough to put him out of the DRS. It's all calming down a little bit now. We're getting into a rhythm of this race. This is a problem with Australia. It has madness and then it goes too quiet and then it has even more carnage. It's crazy how this race works, to be fair. But Norris once again gets past us. Not really a lot to say. Leclerc gets past Hamilton as well.
Come on, you can win that place back.
But Hamilton's actually under pressure from Russell, so this is going to release Leclerc. Russell gets past Hamilton there. Maybe Hamilton made a little bit of a mistake because that gap is quite big between Russell and Lewis now. But that's released Leclerc a little bit now.
We're going to box this lap and push hard on the in-lap.
So, you heard the man. We're pitting this lap for the hard tyres. We're losing a lot of grip. And the back end, quite a lot. So I think that's definitely the right strategy, is to pit this lap for the hards. Hopefully they don't feel
mate,
nasty.
The lap times are all over the place right now. We've got to have consistency. Come on, we can do better than this.
Oh, it's great how he's gave me that objective when I'm going to be coming into the pits at the end of this lap. Anyway, here we go. Push hard on the in-lap, he said, so that's what we're doing. We're going for the move on Lando.
Remember, box this lap. Keep an eye on your distance to the speed limit line as you approach and make sure you don't speed.
Leclerc and Russell are now going to be battling. Unless Russell comes into the pits, but yeah, it'll be a Ferrari and a McLaren once again battling for the lead. Or the on-track lead. Norris stays out, so Russell's going to coming in to the pits along with us.
Target for now. Let's just focus on this pit stop.
So here we go then. I think we're going to get held up here by the traffic coming through the pit lane. We did a little bit, but it wasn't by too much, so it's a good stop. And we're hopefully going to come out ahead of traffic. Traffic being Ricciardo. It's quite close on the pit exit. Going to be careful going into turn 1 because that would have sheared our wing off completely and probably a wheel. But we're in the DRS of Ricciardo, so we could use this to our advantage to gain a bit more time on Lando. Of course, Lando trying the overcut, trying to see if there'll be a safety car so he can get a cheap pit stop. But there's so much more grip on these hard tyres. Already feeling the difference, and you can see the difference as well. I know that the RB isn't a great car, but
great manoeuvre. You made it look so easy.
It is quick, that RB. I know that from season 1 and season 2 and season 3. They were constantly up there. Bit of a shame to see them falling off a little bit. But here we go then, Leclerc, Alonso and Lando all into the pits. And the undercut has worked a treat on Lando. Leclerc also seems to be right behind him in the pits as well. But Russell has got ahead of Leclerc by a lot. And he's right behind his teammate Norris. We're 4 seconds ahead of Lando now. Compare that to the 7/10 that was before we came into the pits. But yeah, the two McLarens might actually screw themselves over here, or they could work together like myself and Norris did to catch up to Leclerc, just to catch up to me, but hopefully they don't. They're going to be battling. Norris is vulnerable without that DRS, so that could bring Leclerc back into play there. Russell gets through on Norris, up into second place now. This is actually full position. Everyone's made their pit stop now. But look at that, the chunk of time that they've already took out of me. 4/10 is what they've took out to catch me so far, so they are working together, using that DRS to their advantages to try and catch up to me.
Okay, so all of our tyre pressure data is currently reading 0. Assuming they still look inflated to you, we're going to guess that it's just a bad sensor. Shouldn't be anything to worry about.
Through the corners.
Okay, mate, we've got some clear track in front of us, and let's make the best of it. So please make this next one a very fast lap.
As I was saying, through the corners we seem to be gaining away from Russell and Norris. But interestingly there, Leclerc has got into the DRS of Norris. So he's going to be in that battle very soon.
Let's use overtake and burn off some of this energy.
And they're both battling. The two McLarens are going side by side. That's very close. Norris gets past Russell though. That's cost them so much time, nearly a second against us. But Leclerc is now right on the tail of them.
Oh mate, great stuff. You hit that target. That sets us up nicely for the rest of this race.
Now we're going to push, see if we can get a fastest lap here. Take it off our rival Norris. I don't think that we'll be able to without the DRS usage. We'll have a look though, we'll see. Still try and go as quickly as what we can. As Russell gets past Lando now. Pretty sure Leclerc's right there too. He is, but no move done for Leclerc there. Here we go, crossing the line, we're still up on our time, and it's the fastest lap.
That's the fastest lap of the race so far. Gap to your teammate behind, 5.3 seconds.
This whole season's looking like a Ferrari versus McLaren battle. Even though Red Bull are meant to be the quickest team, Verstappen since that first round, of course, which he won, has just seemed so off. I mean, he's not even been in the top 5 this race. We've not seen anything of Perez either. I don't think that Red Bull are going to be in contention too much this season. Yeah, that battle seems to have died down a little bit now behind us. They're still all very close to one another. Oh, just saying that actually, Norris and Russell going side by side into turn 1 there. So their names swap a little bit. That's Norris has dropped back quite a lot there. So whether there was contact, we're yet to find out. Almost 10 laps to go left in this one. We had a few laps of chaos. It's just been quiet from there. Norris has got back past Russell then, before the chicane as well. And Leclerc has got past Russell now, sorry. So Leclerc making his way up into that provisional podium spot. What the hell? What the hell has just happened there? Verstappen out the session. It just immediately stopped us on track. Don't know what that was. Let's have a look. Put us into neutral as well. That's dirty work from the game. Dirty work. But it's a safety car, so no one can overtake us. And yeah, we may as well just keep it like that, hadn't we? Can save some fuel as well while we're under this safety car.
You're leading, so don't pass it. Stay behind the safety car.
But yeah, that's the championship leader out of this race. As I was saying already about him, he's just been off since the first race. Since he got that first race win of the season, he's just completely been off, and it's got worse and worse each race, and we're only at the third round, so yeah, I don't think it could get any worse for Max. It's a DNF, so a lot of points lost. No damage limitation for that one, because the damage is done. So that's 2 cars out now, a Mercedes and a Red Bull. Quite big cars, big constructors in Formula 1, both suffering with reliability problems. Tsunoda in the Mercedes and Verstappen in the Red Bull, but we get to lead away this safety car restart whenever it may be. There's a Sauber in quite a lofty position once again, as we saw last round. They do quite well in the race, I must say, but that's Perez actually outside the top 10. Let's have a look while we're here actually at the running order. So somehow Ocon has made his way from 17th up into 9th. We've got Gasly in P10 as well from P15. Stroll is the Sauber in P11 from P19. We've had Perez, who's had to do 2 stops this race already, so a bit of contact maybe with someone. Let's have a look. No, it doesn't say on here that he's had contact with anyone, but let's check if he needed a new front wing. No, he's just gone in for a pit stop. What a very weird call. He was the first one to stop on lap 9. He's gone for the 2-stop strategy to see if that's going to work. Don't think it will, can't lie. But he's here now, it's a safety car, so you never know. Could fight his way through. But at the moment, Red Bull scoring 0 points from this race. We'll work on our tyres. Our engine needs warming up too. Lean mix really does cool down the engine, doesn't it? I forgot how much it done that. Yeah, once again, it was a quiet race, and then the chaos started again. And we managed to find out all of this about Perez pit stops and stuff, so yeah, quite interesting, this race. When we restart, I think it'll be this lap, so we'll have about 8 laps, because it'll be lap 22 when we actually go racing, so that'll be 8 laps.
Safety car is in this lap. Safety car in this lap. You'll be controlling the pace on the restart. Keep it steady until the safety cars reach the pit lane.
So here we go then. Our first safety car restart of the season that we're controlling. And we've got all of this feisty lot behind us. Norris, Leclerc, Russell, Hamilton, they've all been in the top 5 this whole race, apart from when we had the pit stops. And they've been really fighting for it as well. They've really fought hard this race. So you can expect the same in these last 8 laps of this Australian Grand Prix. Away we go then. We catch Norris napping a little bit there. Actually quite a lot. And we've got a 7/10 advantage now going into turn 1. But our ERS isn't enabled actually, so I completely forgot about that. So that's completely ruined our advantage, and we've got Norris right behind us, but no DRS yet, of course, until next lap, so we could hold him off.
Use your overtake button more. It's time to utilise some of this energy. Come on.
And also there, Ocon fighting his way up still. P9 apparently isn't enough for him from P17. Here goes Norris. He looks to the inside. There was no room there though, and he has to stay behind us until this next straight, probably into the next corner that we go. He's going to send one down the inside probably if he can get this slipstream, if he can get the overspeed. Does he do it? No, he doesn't. He stays behind once again, playing the patient game, waiting for that DRS. He knows that that is so powerful around here, and yeah, it's just a matter of when he's going to overtake us, to be completely honest. Because now we go on to lap 23.
Now enabled DRS. DRS is now online.
There's the DRS enabled as we get a massive oversteer out of that corner. No DRS at this straight though. The detection point was before the final corner. First DRS straight was where we usually have a battle with Norris, usually overtake him or he overtakes us, which is around this, that and this corner, and then it's right here, so here we go. See what he can do, maybe even Leclerc. He can't do anything, not going into this one anyway. Here we go, down the next DRS straight. And he's going to go to the inside of this really tight corner. He's not going to have the best exit. As I was saying earlier, that corner is already tight enough as it is. So you don't really want to be going to the inside if you can help it. Otherwise it's not really going to work, that move. So we live another lap in first place. But for how much longer? Here we go. Norris going to go to the inside here. Down to turn 1 we go. And he backs out once more. And he waits for this next DRS straight. 4 DRS straights on this circuit. But nothing doing just yet from Lando. I think it's going to be a last lap scuffle. And I don't think that it will be between me and Norris, to be fair.
Okay, mate, we need to save up some ERS, so let's focus on charging it up, please.
I feel like the rest of the pack, because look, we've got 7 of us in this battle for the lead. That's how close this season is so far. Here goes Norris then. He's going to go around the outside there and up into the lead of the Australian Grand Prix. We've got 6 laps to go.
Okay, we lost the position. Trying to keep focus.
But we're not going to dive it down the inside there. We've got to charge our ERS. That's our objective now. And try and stay with Norris as much as what we can. Stay in that DRS, which is crucial for us to have any chance at this lead. But here we go then. Leclerc, he's going to go for the move as well into turn 1. We can't save our ERS now. We can't keep losing positions because we're trying to save our ERS. So we had to use a little bit there. Going to save it though, going through this next section. And Norris has a lock up there. It's not as big and dramatic as probably Leclerc's was earlier on. It's still a little mistake there. He's feeling the pressure to win this one. Oh wow, that was very sideways there. So here we go then. Down the DRS straight we go. trying to save as much of the ERS as possible by going into non every now and then. We're going to let the clerk go there. Try and get this objective done.
Oh, great stuff. You hit that target. Really good job.
Could be seeing an overtake here from Leclerc. And here he goes, he looks to the outside, very close to the wall there. Just like Norris was in Saudi. You know what happened after that. Norris had a failure, but here we go then. On Lando we go, we're going to go to the inside this time. We're going to see if we can try and make it work. We bounce over the curb. It's an equal exit from both myself and Lando, but we get the job done. It's a Ferrari 1-2 once more. It's like it was at the start of this race, once we got past Lando. We're going to run out of opportunities very soon. It's lap 27 out of 29, that's 3 laps left. 2.5 at where we're at now. We've just got to keep with him until the final lap, I think.
Right, we need to get past here. Use overtake, use overtake.
We're starting to lose grip in the tyres now. Starting to feel like the mediums were. Getting very slidey through the corners. Very difficult on the traction and the high speed corners. Playing it smart here, playing it patient until the final lap to get the clerk. Not going to overtake him. So here we go, final lap now.
This is the final lap of the race. Final lap.
Take way too much of the corner there. But we keep it. Here we go now. This is our opportunity to get Leclerc in our second race win in a row and of this season. Here we go, we're going to get him even before the DRS probably, but the move is on. Here we go, through on Leclerc. Got to hope that Norris doesn't get him as well if we want the best results for our team. but he's going to be vulnerable. He's not got the DRS. Here goes Lando around the outside of Leclerc. Leclerc's going to... Oh, he's not fought it, and we've gone on the grass a little bit there. This could leave us vulnerable to Lando if he really wants to go for something here and get this race win. But he's run out of opportunities, I believe, unless he can get us down this DRS straight right on the line. Here we go. Going to move over to the inside, but we've won the Australian Grand Prix.
Yes, 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 guys, yes! Come on, boys! Ah, fantastic drive. That's just fantastic. Amazing. You deserved that race win. Well done, mate.
A great race then, and a fantastic victory here at Albert Park.
Well, that's 2 wins in a row for them now. That's really going to help them gain confidence and start to build that momentum that they're really going to be looking for.
Here come our winners now, a thrilling race and a tremendous effort by Ferrari. Their history is well known, so it's no surprise to fans the world over to see them come out on top once again. And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport action. But with more races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula One.
So then, a pretty up and down race. We get the fastest lap by quite a significant amount. I didn't realise how much pace we actually got on that lap. But it's us in P1, Norris got P2, our teammate in P3, so it's still a double podium. Russell and Hamilton stay in the same positions. Alonso moved up 1, Piastri in P7. He did well to come from P12 in his home race to P7. Gasly gets into the points as well from P15. Sainz gets his first points of the season as well, and Esteban Ocon in P10 from P7, driver of the day. Ricciardo in his home race didn't manage points, but he came from P16 to P11, which is quite a good result for him given his recent form. Perez down in P12, the only Red Bull left in this race, not scoring any points for them, so Red Bull have took a massive hit in the constructors. Behrman gets 13th, Porsche stayed in 14th, Zhou in 15th, Stroll dropped down to 16th in the end of that one after running in P11 for quite a lot of time. Hulkenberg dropped down to P17, Albon dropped outside the top 10 and down to 18th. So a very, very bad race for him. And the 2 DNFs, Max Verstappen in the Red Bull and Tsunoda in the Mercedes. Let's look at the standings then. So we lead by 12 points over Charles Leclerc, our teammate. Verstappen stays on 37 points, with Norris catching up to him, only 3 points behind in 4th. Then Russell in P5. Alonso is in P6, Piastri in P7, where they finished in this race. Hamilton gets another few points added to his tally. He's now in 8th place. And Tsunoda staying on that amount of points in P9, joint with Gasly in P10 on 10 points. Perez in P11 not getting any points, from Ricciardo exactly the same as well in P12. Sainz gets his first 2 points of the season. He's ahead of Esteban Ocon, who has scored 2 P10 finishes this season. And then the non-scorers still Albon, Zhou, Behrman, Porsche, Stroll and Hulkenberg, who's actually last in the standings. So yeah, great Drivers' Championship so far. In the Constructors then, with 50 points ahead of McLaren, Red Bull of course taking that massive hit, get overtaken by McLaren and nearly by Aston Martin. They're only 3 points behind in 4th. Mercedes on 27 points, only have Piastri scoring from this one. Williams on 10 points as well. They've sold 10 points from Gasly. Then B-Carb with the 4 points from Ricciardo and 2 points from Sainz. Alpine on 2 points, and the non-scorers Sauber and Haas so far in this championship. So we're going to go back to the HQ, driver headquarters, and then we'll end the stream. We've moved up to a 93 rating as well. Our recognition has gone up to 54% now, against Leclerc, who is on 46. So yeah, we're nearly at the 3 upgrades at a time, but we need that. We need that R&D secret upgrade. So 60%. We're only 6% away from that. We completed all of our specialist goals this weekend as well, and all in objectives, in race objectives.
That engine issue was unfortunate. We should consider investing more in chassis upgrades and swapping out engine components when they're on the last legs to reduce the chances of this cropping up in future races.
Right then. So, I was actually expecting a really bad race in Australia. It's not gone well for me in the past. We've got our first win finally at Australia. So let's look at those results actually from previous seasons. So we got 20th last season because of a DNF. We didn't do it in season 2, and season 1 we got 15th. So that's actually our first points at Melbourne ever in this career mode, and it's a win. So couldn't be any better, I don't think. Next is the Chinese Grand Prix, but I won't be doing that today. I will be doing that probably tomorrow or Monday or something, so I'll see you then. Hopefully you can all join once again. It was nice to have the record high of 6 people in, but yeah, thank you for joining, and I'll see you in the